today I wasn't actually meaning to be out here, but I started to actually notice that I have elderberries due, and I actually did not know that I had this many elderberries that were currently. I have a rabbit in this garden. I'm sorry, I just saw a rabbit in this garden. I'm a little upset about that because I have a cat. I must be feeding this cat too well. Anyway, we have elderberries too. And so I actually need to process these before the birds and the squirrels and everything else in wildlife comes and eats them. So yeah, we have tons and tons of them due. So what we're doing today is just processing. Yeah, what we're doing is just processing these. So the only thing you need is a little dish, what do you call these things? A dish holder or a dishwasher thing. Obviously your elderberries. I actually keep, this is like a dollar store garbage can. This is actually what I use to just hold the elderberries. And obviously what I'm holding in my hand is a comb, a wide tooth comb. You can get these at the dollar store, you know. And then obviously your snippers to get them off your elderberry fortress or forest is back here. So the comb is actually important because it allows for you to actually get the elderberries off of the bush or off the stem, and it leaves as little of the stem as possible. There's a stink bug in here. Because the stems are poisonous. So the stems are poisonous, the green little berries are poisonous. Actually, the elderberries themselves are poisonous unless you process them, even if they're ripe. But the green ones and the stems are poisonous even if you process. So most definitely, once we put them, we're going to sort them out, dump all of the berries in here without the stems, and then we're going to start picking out all of the little stems and the green berries. And then once we only have the ripe elderberries in here, we will soak them in some diluted vinegar water, let them paper towel dry, and then put them in a dehydrator. So steps. But at least for today, what we will be doing is just separating out these elderberries before the sun goes down. So if you are curious about that process, please stay tuned.
Would you say yes? I could go without you. I just don't want to. Stay. If I asked you to dance, would you say yes? If I asked you to dance, would you say yes? Yes. 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 Let's dance tonight.
Alright, so here is the elderberry basket and the little container that I'm keeping the elderberries in. And what you actually want to do is, I don't know if you guys can see this, when I take the comb, the wide tooth angle here, we're just going to comb them out like you comb your hair. And if they're ripe, but actually if they're not, even if they are ripe, they come out so quickly, so easily. They just come off. Now you want to pick them when 90% of the elderberry bushel itself is actually ripe. You don't want to take them when they're all green because you can't use the green ones and that's just a waste. So even though I have more elderberries than I need, take them when they're, you want to take them when they're 90% ready. comes the fun part because we have all of these picked. I just want to show you guys what I'm looking at here. We have all of these picked. Now I have to actually go through and pick out all of the stems. Look at my hands. Pick out all of these little stems because they're not edible. You don't want to eat those. You'll get sick if you do. I guess I also have to pick out all of the little green ones. As mentioned, if you do have elderberry at home and this is your first year growing elderberry, not that complicated really. They don't require much. I do know that because I have elderberry pups, just like a little nursery on the side of the house. They do seem to prefer direct sun, so they don't do so well in the shade. I have noticed that. They also need plenty of moisture. That little area, since it's right by the drain, gets a lot of moisture. I'm just gonna do it this way. Gets a lot of moisture, and you do want a heavy mulch because they're only going to send out roots or runners under the layer of mulch. They're not gonna. I haven't noticed that they spread any within the clay soil. Well, this is what we have. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a lot in here to separate. I did want to tell you guys about this process for washing the elderberries. You don't actually have to pick each individual green berry and stem out of your berries once they're separated. Only because I have noticed that the unripe berries and the stems, once separated from the bushel, they actually float. So all of the ones you see floating, and I've already just separated these out. So everything in the strainer has actually been separated out. They will go in the compost bin. These all floated, and all of the stems and all of the green berries floated as well. And you can actually see the difference between the ones in the strainer and the ones that sunk. The ones in the strainer don't have any juice, whereas the ones that actually float, they actually have that elderberry juice, similar to the ones that just been sorted out. These have already been sorted out. They all sunk to the bottom of the basin, and they actually have the juice in the color you would like. And you would notice a taste difference when they're dried. So the ones at the bottom are definitely the ones you want to keep. I've literally just added maybe about a cup of vinegar into the water, let them soak for about 20 minutes, and then once I separated them out, they're just towel drying here. These are the ones that's left from what was picked today. The ones that you see floating, they will be separated out and they will also go into the compost bin. The dehydrator, at least with the one I have noticed that it takes about 2 to 3 days to dry because I do not let them dry overnight. I just prefer for the machine to rest. But really an easy process. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and you have a great day. Peace.